Most people think financial power is something you climb toward. It's not. It's something that slowly climbs into you until you can't tell where you end and the machine begins. Picture this. You're 24 years old. You make $58,000 a year. You feel behind. Your coworker drives a BMW. Your Instagram feed is full of people your age talking about passive income and building wealth. And you're sitting there eating a $7 sandwich thinking, what am I missing? Here's what nobody tells you. That coworker with the BMW, he's leasing it on credit. And those passive income guys, most of them are selling courses about passive income. The real game, the actual levels of financial power, look nothing like what you've been shown. There are levels to this, and most people spend their entire lives on level 1 without ever realizing the board is bigger than they thought. So today, we're walking through all of it, what your life actually looks like at each level of financial power, not the Instagram version, the real one. Level 1, you are reactive. At this level, money is a feeling, not a system. You get paid, you feel okay. A bill hits, you feel panicked. Your car needs work, and suddenly your whole month falls apart. You're not bad with money, you're just playing without a scoreboard.
The average American at this level has less than $1,000 in savings, not because they're lazy, because nobody taught them the difference between income and wealth. Income is what hits your account every 2 weeks. Wealth is what stays when the paychecks stop. At level 1, every financial decision is made from emotion, fear of not having enough, or the temporary relief of spending. You buy things to feel in control. The system is designed to keep you here. Credit cards, subscription fees, car payments, all of it is built to drain the gap between what you earn and what you keep. The way out isn't a raise. It's a shift in how you see the game. And that shift starts with one question. Where does your money go after it leaves your hands? Level 2. You start seeing the structure. Something clicks. Maybe you read one book. Maybe you had one scary month where you literally could not pay rent. Whatever it was, something made you start tracking. And the moment you start tracking money, it starts behaving differently.
At level 2, you build a margin, even a small one. You stop being surprised by your own bank statement. You start paying off high-interest debt. And here's why that matters more than people realize. The average credit card in America charges 22% interest. There is no investment on earth that consistently returns 22% annually. Paying off that card is the highest guaranteed return available to most people, period. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people stop at level 2 and think they've figured it out. Budget, good. Debt gone, great. Some savings, perfect. They get comfortable. And comfort at level 2 is a trap, because level 2 is still trading time for money. You are still the product, and the product doesn't scale. Level 3, your money starts working. This is where ordinary people separate from financially intelligent people. You stop asking, how do I earn more? And start asking, how do I make what I already earn work harder? You open an index fund, maybe a Roth IRA. You start contributing to your 401k, especially if your employer matches, because that match is a 50 to 100% instant return on your contribution that most Americans leave on the table. In 2023, roughly 20% of Americans with access to a 401k match weren't contributing enough to capture the full match. That's free money, just left sitting there.
At level 3, compound interest stops being a textbook concept and becomes something you can actually feel. You check your investment account and realize this money grew while you were asleep. That feeling is different from any paycheck. It also starts to rewire how you think about spending. When you know that $300 invested today at a 7% average return becomes roughly $1,200 in 20 years, that dinner, that impulse purchase, that upgraded phone, it starts to cost differently in your head. This is also a good time to remind you, if this is hitting different than most finance content you've seen, subscribe to ProfitStein. Every week, this is what we do. Real frameworks, real numbers, zero hype. Level 4, you stop selling time. Most people will never reach level 4. Not because it's impossible, because it requires a mindset most people were never given permission to have. At level 4, You have built at least one income stream that doesn't require you to show up. A rental property, a business with a team, a portfolio large enough to generate dividends, something that earns when you're not in the room.
This is where financial power starts to feel qualitatively different. It's not just a bigger number, it's a different relationship with time. You can say no to things. You can choose work instead of needing it. That distinction, choosing versus needing, changes everything about how you move through the world. The math that makes this possible has a name, the 4% rule. Research from Trinity University found that a portfolio of roughly 25 times your annual expenses invested in a diversified portfolio has historically sustained itself for 30 years or more with a 4% annual withdrawal rate. That's the threshold. That's the number that separates level 4 from level 3. Most people are never told that number exists. They just keep working, assuming retirement is something that happens to you at 65 rather than a financial state you can engineer. Level 5, capital calls you. At level 5, you don't find opportunities, they find you. This is the level where your network, your reputation, and your capital base compound together. Deals get brought to you. You choose what to enter and what to pass on. Your decisions begin to have downstream effects on other people, employees, investors, communities. The decisions get harder, not easier. And something that nobody tells you about financial power at this level, the higher you go, the fewer people can actually relate to the problems you're solving.
Money at this level is no longer about security. It becomes about influence, legacy, and the quiet anxiety of being responsible for things that affect people you'll never meet. Most people never experience this, and honestly, most people wouldn't want the weight of it if they understood what it actually costs. Now here's the mindset shift that ties all of this together. Every level has a ceiling, and the ceiling isn't a number, it's a belief. At level 1, the belief is, I'm just not good with money. At level 2, it's, as long as my bills are paid, I'm fine. At level 3, it's, I'm being responsible, this is enough. The belief is always the first thing that has to move. Financial power isn't a destination you reach, it's a series of compressions. Moments where your old way of thinking becomes too small for where you're going. The people who move through levels aren't smarter, they're just willing to be uncomfortable in the gap between who they were and who they're becoming. You don't have to be on level 5 to live well. You don't have to want level 5. But knowing the full map, seeing all the levels, means you can choose your level consciously instead of just ending up wherever the current takes you. That's the difference. Not income. Not luck, choice, made with clarity. Most people never get the map. Now you have it. The question is what you do with it. If this gave you a new way to see things, drop a comment. Tell me what level you're currently on and where you're trying to get to. I read every single one. And if you want the full framework on how to actually move from level to level, subscribe. That's exactly what Profitstein is built for. The machine keeps moving. Make sure you're driving it, not just riding inside it.